reflections. Bernie, firstly.
I think I'm agreeing with Tim tonight, Sandy. North Melbourne's record has been abysmal, and the Bears produced pretty good football last week against Essendon.
And Jared, quickly.
Well, I thought the Bears, if it was wet, but I'll go for North Melbourne in dry conditions.
So I too have gone for North. In a tight one. It should be a beauty. So here we go. North going to the right of screen. The Bears away to the left. Gastev trying to flick it away. Crocker was in front of him. Couldn't get it out effectively. Still virtually in the middle. Gastev again working hard at the bottom. He's well claimed. Has the ball held. We'll have another bounce. And the ground, as Tim said, in good condition.
Certainly the centre wicket area, Sandy, has dried a lot over the last couple of weeks. And that first bounce, very high bounce again.
Still in the centre. German overruns it. McRae comes away with a left foot kick down towards half forward. North Melbourne into their attacking zone. But again, it's going to be Gastev who tidies up. Sweeps a wide hand pass wide. Taken away by Darryl White. Flicks it up towards centre wing. Wants Noonan. Good interception, however, by German. Peter German sends the Roos inside 50. White following the ball back. Picks it up now. Gets the hand pass away to Leslie, and the Bears are out of trouble.
And Leslie shoots the ball towards the outer wing. And it's picked up there magnificently in defence by McCluckey. McCluckey goes wide to the wing, but the kick is a little bit astray, and the umpire signals that it is out on the full. Just a little bit too long. Spargo with the ball. Lays it off now to Steele. Steele onto Scholl. Scholl drives the ball long, looking for Longmire. Longmire drops what he should have taken, and the ball is now on the ground in a heavy congestion of players.
He had half a chance there, John. Longmire on the lead, playing against Richard Champion, full-back for the Brisbane Bears. Longmire kicked 6 last week for North Melbourne against Geelong.
And there's 37 for the year, so he'll be very keen to build on that tonight. Goes back into that forward pocket region once again. And again, it's Champion who sees it over the line with Longmire. In the right forward pocket for the Roos. From the throw-in, Carey had front spot, couldn't get it away effectively. Pushed towards the 50-metre line, and eventually the handball under pressure goes over. Johnny Gastev giving encouragement. You trained with the Bears, Jared, during the week. How did they look to you on the track?
Sharp. They looked a professional unit, and Robert Walls, I think, has them in peak condition for this game.
Matt Randell got the tap out, but that was all. Oh, Clark threw it away. He was well tackled, and there was probably nothing else he could do. If he held onto it, he would have been pinged. So Peter German from 50 metres. Let's see what he can do. Took a long time to reach his 150 milestone, but he did eventually, and that's a lovely looking kick off the boot. First goal of the night to North. So the Roos are away. 1 goal straight, the Bears get to score.
Yes, an excellent kick at goal there from Peter German. He is known as a very good kick at goal on the run, but from the set shot right on the 50-metre line, Peter German has kicked only his 5th goal from the 92 seasons. Had a bit of an indifferent year, has been dropped to the reserves. Very important to North Melbourne when he's playing well.
So first blood to North Melbourne with the ball back in the centre. The bounce favours Darryl White, who's held by Spargo, should have taken the free. McRae comes in and was pinned. How could he get rid of that one, umpire? Tough decision.
Yeah, certainly, Jared. He was tackled immediately. He took possession. He had no chance of getting rid of it.
Ashcroft wide, finds McCluckey. McCluckey goes around the corner. He's got Shackey and Merritt, but well played there fairly. In comes David Bain, always at the bottom of the pack. A terrier, off to Hart. Hart chips it to the front of the goals. Nearly a great mark taken. Push in the back chance. Ashcroft with the handball along the ground. Allison chips the ball wide. He's got Ishenko, the big man who played for the Brisbane Bears last year in their premiership side. Bit of a stalemate in the centre of the ground. Finally, the ball comes forward for the Bears. They're bombing the ball, looking for Merritt. But out comes Richard Dennis and takes a fine mark, covering for Michael Martin, who's the usual full-back. Dennis towards the half-back line. A couple of options there. He picked out Craig Scholl. Peter German was there as well. Scholl's kick down towards the half-forward line. Carey, North quickly into attack. Beautifully towards Longmire. This time he's got it.
So Mark's paid Sandy. The crowd not too sure about that, but I think he did take possession of the ball, and immediately on taking possession, the ball was knocked out of his hands by Champion. Let's have a look at it again. Well, he may have been a little bit lucky to get that one.
It's a long mark for his 38th goal. Misses away to the right.
Yes, having a look at that one in replay, I think he was very fortunate to be paid that mark. Champion sitting right on his hammer and got that knock away.
Behind onto the board. That takes his tally for the year to 37-16. As Sean Hart brings it back into play. It's straight down the middle. Schenko was the step ladder. McClucky gets a hurried kick towards Hutton, right down towards the centre. Fisted away from him by Scholl. Bain does the scouting. Back to Hutton again. Here's an opportunity for White. A little stab pass, beautifully picked up by Merritt on the half-forward line. Back to White again. White goes down towards the 50-metre line. Merritt couldn't take it. And eventually it's McRae who picks up. Does get a short chip towards centre half back, and this time the Northerners should get out of trouble, although Schenko was off. Loses the football. Pretty scrappy on the outer side at the moment. McRae hangs on to it for a long time before getting the hand pass away. Well, we'll see a throw in.
Sandy, Big Alex there running himself into trouble. He must make sure that he's clear before he plays on, attempting to get that hand pass away, because it's no use trying to play on when he's surrounded by three Bears players.
Hutton over the back. Ball now, big, strong tackle from North Melbourne. That's good signs to see them attacking the ball. Hart gets it to Gastev, who's been busy early. Handball was astray, however, to Leslie, who's having trouble picking it up. Now he does so. Swings it back to Hart. Hart, an excellent player last week, starting the game well. The right foot chip is a poor one, and it goes back to McRae. McRae takes the ball over the boundary line. Perhaps it could have been deliberate, Bernie.
Yes, well, maybe. He was forced out of bounds, but really the Bears must sharpen up on their skills, Jared, because so many times they win possessions and just turn it over so very easily when they've got a chance to run it out of defence there. They just messed up a couple of hand passes and also that kick out of defence.
Ashcroft sees it over the line after Hutton came over the top from the throw-in. So still on the outer side. Hutton jostling with Schenko. White gets the hand pass away. With the field towards Retzlaff. And another throw-in. In front of the biggest crowd segment here we have at the MCG tonight. And, predominantly North Melbourne fans. Merritt in front. Schenko at the back. Ball is held. Tackling by both sides so far tonight has been very good. Liam Pickering applying the tackle for North Melbourne on that occasion. They lead by 7 points with just over 18 minutes remaining.
Looks like Jared Hutton doing the ruck work on the forward line. Rendell doing the ruck work around the ground. And maybe Hutton lining up at centre half forward tonight with Merritt further down the ground.
There's a man of many tactics, Robert Walls. Always has a few surprises. An interesting mouthguard there from Paul Spargo. Bright blue. Are you on the clean showing, Paul? Long kick forward. Ball in the centre of the ground. German in front. Gets the quick handball out. Ben Buckley kicks the ball long. Over the back was Champion. Oh, the mark should have been paid there to Russell Jeffrey, who took a courageous mark, and he is incensed.
Well, he did take that mark. I can't believe it wasn't paid. Russell Jeffrey showed tremendous courage last week. Let's see this again in replay. Jeffrey, well, he may have been assisted, but he definitely had that hand back and dragged it down. He should have been paid that mark, no doubt.
White with the ball. Through comes Leslie. Pickering round the corner, but goes astray, and only a point to North Melbourne. So the Northerners move on to 1-2. Brisbane yet to score.
Champion again to bring it back into play. Kicks well. Schenko comes over the top and hammers it down beautifully. Oh, Allison heads in towards goal. There's another one to North Melbourne. Brett Allison gets his first.
Presenting the Olympic coverage, Coca-Cola. You can't beat the feeling.
You might not recognize them. Are young men and women who in quiet years of sacrifice suffered, despaired, and then fought back to cover themselves and their country in glory. They are the pride of Australia. From July 25th this year, Barcelona, birthplace of new legends.
Lead is out to 14 points after that goal from Allison as we go back into the centre once again. No one able to win it away. Pickering again at the bottom of the pack, picks himself up. And another one still virtually in the middle.
A big congestion of players. Kick off the ground will suffice. Both sides wanting to get that ball forward. Umpire must surely ball it up. And that he does. In runs Hayden Kennedy. That's what he'll do.
Saw a bit of classic ruck work there from Mashenko and Rendell. They ran into each other and both fell over before the ball got to them.
Well, they're both very big men. Both experienced players. Rendell with the tap, but it goes to the ground. And once again, there's a big congestion of players, which lends support to the argument that perhaps the players should stay outside the perimeter of the square until the ball transgresses the line. Over the back's Crocker. Ball once again, German on the ground. All players in there with a scramble of play. Ashcroft. Finally the ball comes forward now out on the Bears half-forward line. Dennis on the bottom of the pack takes one high and will give the free kick awarded from the umpire.
That's an interesting theory, that one, Jared, about the players staying out of the 50-metre, but I just wonder who's going to police that little that area. It'll be very tough to police.
Dennis's kick down towards centre wing. Retzlaff was there, couldn't do anything with it. Applies the tackle, and we'll have a bounce on centre wing. Umpires tonight are Hayden Kennedy and James Van Beek.
Well, I think it's got merit, Bernie, but perhaps Bill Dallard has some problems there getting the umpires, the boundary umpires.
It'd be almost impossible to judge when the ball's just gone out of the 50-metre area.
Ashenko wins it this time, beating Rendell. North deep into attack through Dwyer. Longmire front spot. Carey does the scouting, gets a hurried left foot kick. He was pushed as he took the kick, so it went straight ahead. McCluckey leads in the race and will sock her over the line. Not very subtle, but effective.
It's good defensive play, McCluckey. Made a very good game last year in the grand final for the Brisbane Bears. Of course, they won that game.
Reserves grand final.
Reserves grand final, I should add.
Yes, fine effort. Rendell marks the Jeffrey kick. He's just on the defensive side of centre, Big Mac. Pumps it deep into their forward zone. The Bears still looking for a score here tonight. They're not going to get it on this occasion as Dennis defends well again. Coming out towards centre wing. Towards the boundary line it goes and over with Sean Hart leading Anthony Stevens on that occasion.
Throw in on centre wing, just favouring North Melbourne. Oshenko with the tap. Hayden Kennedy awards the free kick to Brisbane Bears. And away goes David Bain. Bain was scragged by Allison from behind. Push out there from Scholl, and the free kick will go to Hutton. Hutton looking for an option up forward. He's got Shackey leading wide. Shackey, good player last week. Over the top is Dennis. Dennis on the ground now, but the ball taken effectively by Truer-Clark, who swings around onto his left foot and just chips it into the hole. Looked like a set play from Brisbane, but away goes Ben Buckley. Over to Scholl. Buckley takes the 1-2 and away he goes onto the wing, the north side in attack.
Long kick by Buckley, down towards centre wing. Hutton got a hand to it, smothered it out to Gastev. Johnny Gastev towards the 50-metre line once again. The big fly is on. Merritt coming back into the seniors has given away a free kick. He couldn't take the mark and retarded that North Melbourne player. Pickering gets it away, gets the hand pass out, and now North go towards centre half forward. Longmire comes out, couldn't take it on the half volley. A chance for the Bears to clear through Green. A high kick to the half back line. No mark taken. Ishenko on towards Allison. This is looking dangerous. Carey's tucked in the pocket. What can he do? A little chip. Out comes Longmire.
It's automatically there looking for Johnny Longmire on the lead. Really, they're very good conditions here at the MCG tonight for forwards. The ball not yet slippery. You see Longmire, who has kicked 14 goals in a match here at the MCG, in a night match in fact.
Going for his first for the night. And he's made no mistake. John Longmire boots
This is the Nissan Pulsar, the best small car in Australia. Wheels Magazine's Car of the Year. The new Nissan Pulsar is the most powerful and economical car in its class. We're backing it with an unprecedented 3-year, 100,000 kilometre factory warranty, plus a free 24-hour roadside assistance for the life of that warranty. There's a new Nissan, and we're serious about it. Don't buy a new car until you've sat in a Pulsar. Talk to a Nissan dealer now.
North Melbourne now lead by 20 points with just over 11 minutes to play. Rendell gets the ball down to Ashcroft. Ashcroft, a quick handball out to Darryl White. White goes forward, but once again Brisbane Bears break down up forward, and this man Richard Dennis has been like the brick wall of China. Oishenko. Sean Hart with a big punch. Through comes Peter Mann. A big honour wearing Schimmelbusch's old number. Scholl on the left foot, goes round the corner. He's looking for Carey, who's harassed by Leslie and must be a free kick. And so says James Van Beek.
Oh, that's not a very nice sign he gave the umpire there, Martin Leslie, and the umpire having a few words to him.
I think he just said, that's 2 free kicks you've awarded against me, Ben.
Well, that could have been right too. This is probably...
Either that or he was asking were there 2 great walls of China.
Great brick walls.
Over. Back to the action. Carey. Long. In towards Longmire territory. He couldn't get a position to fly then. Gastev farms it out towards Bain. Could have almost got a free kick. Champion is there also. Look at Gastev. He's still going. He's caught in the end. And the umpire will come in for a bow.
He's a little terrier, isn't he? David Bain.
Yep.
He missed. He's only missed 1 game through the season through concussion. He's been averaging 25 possessions a match. He's just a terrier. He never stops running.
He's 24.5.
Thank you.
North a chance to score again. They lead by 20 points at the moment. Gastev defensively towards the line. He'll be quite happy to see that over.
Another player who never plays a bad game for the Brisbane Bears, Johnny Gastev.
Yep. In fact, were you saying, Bernie, there's only been 1 Brisbane Bear player that's played every game?
It's quite extraordinary, that, and that's Danny Noonan, the only player that's played in all of the Brisbane Bears' 92 games.
Spargo looking for his 99th goal. It's going to be awfully close. 1 behind. 3-3. And the Bears still yet to score with under 10 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
And Robert Wall's on the phone, obviously a little bit worried. John Gastev has been a great player for the Bears, as Bernie was saying. Gastev drives the ball long. He's looking for Hutton, who's down the ground. Ball comes to the ground. McCluckey, who started the game well. McRae, a Queenslander. He's representing North Melbourne. He's been dragged off the ball, and Marcus Ashcroft takes a free kick.
Already a change for the Brisbane Bears. Matthew Rendell off and Kennedy on.
So Wall's looking for a little bit more mobility. McCarthy, handball wide. Stevens on the left foot. Looking for Longmire again. Once again, Longmire drops it. This will be advantage, and in goes Allison to score his 2nd goal. And North Melbourne's 4th.
Remember that place in Naples?
Naples? We never went to Naples.
Fragoletto, a little bit of Italy in every jar.
The Roos by 27 points. The Bears still yet to score. Oishenko wins the tap. Stevens at the bottom. He's trying to get it out there once again. He's still going. Still has it. And eventually the umpire must come in and take control.
Well, Robert Wall's obviously thinking the centre square area was one of his problem areas. Matthew Rendell off the ground. Kennedy doing the ruck work. I didn't think Rendell was going all that bad. He was competing okay in the centre square.
Let's see what Kennedy can do. Oishenko wins it again. Gastev should be able to get it first. He does, but his hand pass goes sadly astray. Good shepherding. Allows Mann to come through for North Melbourne. A long kick towards Longmire. Oh, he had it and he lost it, but he recovered. Flicks it round his body and has kicked another one. North are doing it on the bit. Longmire has his 2nd. and North Melbourne have their fifth. 5-3-33. The Bears yet to score, and the horse has done it again.
Yeah, it's all too easy, really, wasn't it? Longmire contesting that mark. North Melbourne again winning the ball out of the middle. Here's Peter Mann. Long kick, direct kick to that face of goal there. Longmire just able to nudge Champion out of the way and then had plenty of time to recover. The Brisbane Bears defenders didn't get back there in time to help out.
This will test Kennedy up against big Alex Ishenko. Kennedy runs into the umpire. It's a big thump there by Alex Ishenko. Picked up now by Hart. Hart swings the ball round, and it should beat the players over the boundary line. The Bears really must produce in this last 6 or 7 minutes of the quarter, otherwise the game may be gone. Ishenko and Kennedy. Ishenko will dominate all of those combats. That situation is allowed. Well played there by Clark. All high in the air. Merritt brings the ball to ground. It's Steele. Has a bounce, looks forward. He's looking for someone up the centre. Poor kick from Steele, however. Carey on the ground. Can't take control. And through comes Hart once again.
Up towards the half-forward line. Shackey couldn't take the mark. Dennis again. He's had a marvellous first quarter in defence for North Melbourne. Ashcroft almost held on to a fraction too long. Hutton goes in strongly with a bump. The ball spills free. North defence working hard. Scholl gets it away. They've got a chance to set up something again. Down towards the forward line goes the kick from Spargo. And another shot at goal. This time from 50 metres will be taken by Anthony Dwyer. Waste no time. Into the square he goes. It's a big kick. Champion backing into the pack. And it's over the line eventually for one behind. 5-4. The Bears yet to score. Champion. Chip out into the back pocket finds Johnny Gastev. Best and fairest winner for the Bears in 1989. Goes to the team vice-captain, Martin Leslie. Up towards centre wing and a good mark taken by Noonan. To half-forward he goes. No one there to take a mark. White recovers first. Gives off the hand pass to Shane Hamilton. In towards full forward it goes. They've got to get there first here, and they do.
Latina Fresh is fresh pasta, specially sealed to keep it fresh, which has made Latina Fresh Australia's most popular fresh pasta. Latina Fresh pasta, the pasta you used to go out for. And new from Latina, the pasta sauces you used to go out for, now in your supermarket dairy case.
David Bain, good goal running into open space. One of the few times the Bears have got it into their 50-metre zone. Once again, the bounce favours Brisbane Bears, but this time it's McClucky. McClucky having quite a good quarter, brings the ball round the forward line. Richard Dennis and Bain coming in. Bain tackled by Steele, and the ball trickles over the boundary line. Be thrown in once again, deep in Brisbane Bears forward pocket. This time the ruck advantage will be with the Bears. Don't be surprised if he swings it over the back. Hutton this time. Coming through there was Pickering. He's been taken high and will receive the free kick. Swings the ball across the ground. It's Allison. Allison will have to go back because he can only kick with his left foot.
That's exactly what he does. Back to Steele. This time he's more direct, bouncing his way through half-back. And likes to go long, up over the centre, towards Carey territory, McCarthy. McCarthy could have given a nudge, but then he somehow got it out to Carey, who farmed it even further away. McClucky's hand pass is good. And there could be a free kick. Well, in fact, the advantage is going to be paid to the big man who's just replaced Matt Rendell. Kennedy gets it down to the half-forward line. Merritt was there, but Scholl's going to tidy up. He's got all the time in the world to have a look. Size up his options. Go back towards centre wing, and a good mark taken by McRae. Plays on quickly. Spargo goes into the man on the mark. That wasn't good. McRae is forced to soccer it wide to Alex Oshenko. Sweeps a hand pass. That wasn't a good one either to McRae. But luck's at fortune, he's away. Long and low into full forward. And Longmire! Not paid. Champion will clear into the back pocket. And he finds Leslie.
Champion really flirting there because he should have gone for the defensive punch away. He really just nearly allowed Longmire to chip in and take that mark.
Hart brings the ball down with his 5th kick. He finds McCluckey once again. That was Retzlaff. Big punch from behind by Steele. Ball in the centre of the ground. Retzlaff once again, tackled and scragged as he grabs the ball. Here comes Matthew Kennedy. Good vision from Kennedy, finds Hamilton. Hamilton goes to centre half forward. It's wide at the front of the pack. Roving was Clark, but he couldn't take possession, and away go North Melbourne through Allison. Allison whips the ball out to Dennis. Best man on the ground at the moment. He's got Oshenko. Oshenko slips in the mud, and that was deliberate, umpire.
It certainly was. The umpire calling for the throw-in, but big Alex just tapping that one over the boundary line when he knew he was in all sorts of trouble. No doubt it should have been paid a free kick to the Bears.
Well, perhaps his bulk was in the right position between the ball and the umpire on that occasion. Crocker's hand pass towards Allison. Around the wing he goes. Fisted towards McCluckey. Gets the hand pass back to Leslie. The Bears go up to their half-forward line. Well trapped by Crocker on that occasion. We've got just under 3 minutes remaining in this first quarter. The Bears would dearly love another goal or two to come back into it, but good teamwork sees Stevens with the ball now for North. And a lovely kick. That's good vision.
Well, again, we see all this coming about because of a skill error from the Brisbane Bears out of defence. Player Martin Leslie, a very experienced player, missing with that short pass around that outer wing.
Longmire going for his 3rd for the night and his 40th for the season from 49.5 metres. Straight through the middle.
Remember that place in Naples?
Naples? We never went to Naples.
Ragoletto, a little bit of Italy in every jar.
3 goals to John Longmire. Champion really has his hands full, but perhaps Robert Walls hasn't really any other options. Oshenko under the ball, had to sit and wait for it. Across came Kennedy. Ashcroft out of the centre. Intelligent handball under pressure. Clark gets the ball, but Crocker comes through well. Left-hand handball. Buckley swipes at it out of the air. Well done, Buckley, under pressure. And a good mark to Danny Noonan, who has been a little quiet tonight.
It was a courageous mark, though, wasn't it, Jerry?
50 metres, is it?
Going back with the flight of the ball. And it's a 50-metre penalty. Has been paid.
Danny Noonan had come down to take hold of the ball.
Warren Shecky did have hold of it, but no doubt Noonan will have this shot at goal. The man on the mark standing around about 20 metres from goal.
Danny Noonan comes up for his 3rd kick for this evening. His first shot at goal. Should be an absolute soda. And it is. So the 2nd goal on the board now for Brisbane Bears. They trail North Melbourne 6 goals 440 to the Bears 2 goals straight.
Yes, well, they need a couple more of those, and very quickly too, the Brisbane Bears. Noonan has been one of the very good players for the Brisbane Bears throughout 1992. Matthew Rendell back on for the Brisbane Bears. I think they really need him out there because Kennedy was giving away 10 centimetres, just far too much height advantage to Oshenko at the centre bounce.
Here is Oshenko. Let's see what happens in this centre bounce on this occasion. Won by Oshenko. Bain's kick was well smothered. Oshenko taps it further afield. Chance for the Bears, however, through Jeffrey. Hurried kick towards centre wing. Ooh, both players from both sides showed good courage then. Scholl was one of them and he's still going. His hand pass, however, is ill-directed. Straight to David Bain. Down to the pocket goes David Bain. The Bears would love another one here. Inside a minute remaining. They've got the chance. Shackey pass as well.
There's good shepherding there behind play by Troy Clark also. Sandy just keep Richard Dennis out of the contest. see that shepherd just on the edge of the picture there. And he did very well to allow Lawrence Shackey around to get this pass away to Steve McCluckey.
So McCluckey going for his first. Kicking from just inside 40 metres. Bends it back, not enough. One behind, so the first blemish on the Bears board for the evening. 2-1, plays 6-4. That could well be the quarter-time score. It's Richard Dennis. Bring it back into play. He's had a very good quarter, Dennis. Kicks out beautifully. There was a bit of pushing and shoving from both sides on that occasion, so the umpire said play on. Buckley at the bottom of the pack. Short kick goes in towards the pocket. Retzlaff overruns it. Dennis is there to do the tidying up, and again he does it to Crocker. He's bundled over the line as he gets his kick, but it's going to be okay. McRae gets the hand pass away. Allison gets a kick, and there's the quarter-time siren. And at quarter-time here at the MCG, good quarter by the Roos. North Melbourne lead 6-4-40. Brisbane 2-1-13. We go second quarter here at the MCG. North a good start, 6-4-40. Brisbane 2-1-13. Schenko has been dominating in the ruck. Allison is tackled by Bain as Schenko tries to soccer it off the ground. The Bears will be looking for a more positive start to this quarter than they had in the first. North will be first to this football though, through Craig Scholl. The kick is too wide. So the Bears a chance to bring it back through Martin Leslie.
I think Tim mentioned Noonan picking up Peter German. I think they've just really lined up on each other on the wing. Noonan has been playing on the wing over the last few weeks. I think German's just lined up on the wing alongside him.
Leslie's kick towards Rendell. He has it fisted away. McRae onto Buckley, onto Spargo, who could have almost been held. The umpire says play on. Steele takes the mark after kick coming down from Ashcroft. Steele goes back in towards half forward. Again, a bit of pushing and shoving. McCarthy was in front. But it's the man at the back, Ashley Green, who has the football. Hart gets it off to Leslie. Can the Bears mount something here? Leslie's kick, only as far as the middle once again, and it's Mann who blocks it off.
Better man goes wide. Champion over the back. It looked like a free kick to me. Longmire floats a handball over to Stevens, who's looking for an option in the centre of the ground. He ducks back onto his left foot and goes it alone. But a very poor kick. Russell Jeffries will go across the ground. He's got Retzlaff on his own. Spargo comes in and attends the mark, forcing Retzlaff back. A dubious handball to the centre of the ground goes to Ashcroft. Through comes McRae. Ashcroft applies the tackle. The Bears looking for a better option, and down they go through Troy Clark. Rendell on the centre wing. Ball punched away from Longmire. Buckley on the ground. Can't pick the ball up, but this man can, German. Excellent skills, German. Hands the ball over to Scholl, and Scholl drives the Roos back into attack.
Gastev was at the bottom of the pack, couldn't take it. Now back to Stevens again from 50 metres, set sail for home. It's a good-looking kick, but again, Champion on the last line of defence takes the mark. Formerly from Woodville, Richard Champion gets it out to Sean Hart. The Bears wanting at least the first couple in this quarter if they're going to really get back into the game. And it's German who's firing away in towards full forward. Another poor kick straight to Champion. He gets it off to Retzlaff, and again the Bears should come away. Back to the half-back line. Rendell, bit of time. Left foot kick in towards the centre. Double-fisted spoil is very effective. McRae waits down, tries to get it off towards Buckley. He goes to ground. Rendell also. Eventually it comes out to Hamilton. Onto the left foot he goes. Wants Gastev, but he doesn't get a kind bounce. Scholl takes an awkward hand pass. And North Melbourne, no, I was going to say they should get out of trouble, but the tackle on Pickering was good. Hutton It's not pretty football at the moment, but there's certainly plenty of desperation. Look at the face of Clark as he gets a kick down to the half-forward line. Fairly took the mark, off to German. Hamilton snapping towards the pocket region. Merritt paddles the ball out. Buckley is there to apply the tackle. Noonan has a snap, surely a score. One behind only.
It's pretty untidy stuff around that outer
it wasn't
wing
easy,
there.
Bernie, was it?
No, very difficult conditions. A little bit soft on that side of the ground, but it looked as if Troy Clark has got the nasty knock to the face. A lot of blood. There it is there. What's the rule on that now, Jared? Surely he should be taken from the ground.
Well, perhaps they haven't realised that it is uncontrolled bleeding, but that does look like a very deep gash and will require stitches, no doubt. Rendell, ball tapped forward, goes to McRae. McRae has the runner in Spargo. Spargo gets a friendly bounce and goes with a torpedo along the wing. Crocker and Gastev. Crocker with the hamstring warmers. They're doing an effective job too as away comes North Melbourne. McCarthy in the chase. McClucky tidies up. He gives it to Jeffrey, who's under pressure. He feigns the handball and looks to go back up the corridor. Darryl White once again feigns the handball and finds Retzlaff. But they're not going too far, the Bears. 5 possessions to go 10 metres. It's good on the statistics sheet, but it's not very efficient on the scoreboard. Retzlaff chips the kick. Ashcroft drives the ball long. He's looking for Lawrence Shackey. Shackey, who hasn't had many touches. In fact, he's only had 1 kick. Goes to ground, and Dennis, who's worn him like a glove, repels in another attack. Hart this time gets it to Ashcroft, who lines up the goals. He should goal, and that he does.
A stranger at the gate.
Are you looking for work?
Yes.
He's handsome.
Well, what do you call this?
And wonderfully mysterious.
Quite fancy myself.
He enters the Larkin world with a hidden past.
Some people never change their minds.
And a secret charm.
Blow me down with a feather.
Anne of Green Gables will be remembered for its warmth, and the Darling Buds of May for its enormous heart and soul.
Do you think we should fight our natural instincts?
From H.E. Bates,
My pleasure.
The Darling Buds of May continues Saturday on Prime.
20 points the margin, and Clark is coming off the ground after that nasty gash to the head, and Matthew Campbell is taking his place. He'll be into the action pretty soon because the ball's down on the Bears half-forward line once again. Hutton copped one as it's pushed wide towards Noonan. May have a bit of space if he can get away from Peter German here. Flicks it out to accommodate a teammate, and David Bain takes the mark outside 50. The lead of Lawrence Shackey is ignored. Bain goes long, up towards full forward. Merritt having to do the work from behind. May have given away a free kick. In fact, he has. The umpire says play the advantage. So Stevens takes the hand pass, bounces his way through half back, kicks up in towards the centre, and the mark taken on the chest by Mann. Peter Mann, he's got a player loose on the outer wing. That's Allison. Away he goes. McRae from 50 metres in towards full forward. Longmire waits at the back. It wasn't the correct option, and Champion defends with a high kick back towards the centre. It's going to be a free kick to North Melbourne to be taken by Spargo.
Had to be paid. I agree with that decision because he just charged back into the player and really didn't look at the ball at all.
Well, I beg to differ on that one, I must admit, Bernie. However, Spargo drives the ball. Longmire's swamped. Picked up by O'Dwyer. Is taken high. Should be a free kick. But no, says the umpire, and David Bain sweeps the ball forward. Danny Noonan drives the ball long. A bit of a mongrel floater, however, it gains good distance. And Hamilton is in fight with Pickering.
Now, what was that free for, Jared?
I think he was
too high.
He's taken a little bit high, Bernie. You're right.
I think Hutton just brushed past him.
Well, away they go. Scholl, an ordinary kick from Scholl, has found Retzlaff on centre wing. And Retzlaff now drives the Bears back forward. This is where they're breaking down the Bears across half forward, although they have done better this quarter. Darren Crocker also wearing the silks. Takes the ball long. The ball is smothered, but once again he follows up, kicks it off the ground. The ball stops in the bog, which allows O'Dwyer time to pick it up. He finds German in the centre, who'll drive North Melbourne forward. Poor option. Oshenko fumbles what he should have taken, but Steele follows up and delivers it once again to O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer looking forward for Longmire. Poor kick from Longmire. Poor kick from O'Dwyer. Leslie drops back.
Leslie's kick across to McCluckey. Again, going very wide. This time he comes down to Gastev. Well, they're going nowhere rapidly at the moment. Hart has it on centre wing, taking it from Gastev. He is more direct. In towards the 50-metre line. Merritt using the one hand, almost controlled it. Managed to get it out the back door to Shackey, who also tried to palm it on, but Dennis stopped that. Steele tackle, but he gets the hand pass away. Fairly. Back towards centre wing. McRae had to beat a couple of them. He couldn't. Gastev tidies up at the back. Across to White. Now, he's an exciting player. Look at that little chip as he finds David Bay.
He's a good mover, isn't he, Sandy? 6'2", as Jared said earlier, and really moves like a rover. He did all the ruck work earlier in the season.
Well, we had the pleasure of seeing him do some sensational work up at Carrara. Took a magnificent mark and kicked a wonderful goal. And now David Bain. Stabs to Hart.
It was always on that, Sandy, because David Bain probably would have had a lot of trouble making the distance from just outside the 50-metre line. And Hutton, who has been the leading goal kicker for Brisbane Bears this year, 28 goals, 10 in fact. Missed last week through suspension, and he can kick the ball long distances.
This distance certainly won't be a problem for him.
German off for North Melbourne.
Hutton from 50 metres, he's pushed that away to the left, and quite dramatically away to the left.
And Shackey off for Brisbane Bears. He's been replaced by Kennedy. Ross Smith on for North Melbourne.
Yes, well, been a quiet first quarter, certainly, for Lauren Shackey. Margin is 20 points. Schenko goes very close to the man on the mark. And again, he did that little push over the line. So a throw-in. Can the Bears take advantage of it while they've got it down there? Dennis does the ruck work at the back. Campbell has just come onto the ground, snaps it towards full forward, a touch and through for one behind. 3-3 plays 6-4 now. For the first medical report of the night, here's Dr. Watson.
Thank you, Sandy. Yes, they've taken Troy Clark into the room as a club doctor, and they're going to stitch him up, and hopefully he'll be back on a bit later, but he's got a nasty gash on his forehead.
Big mark from Darryl White.
There's a big spring we were talking about, Jared. He's certainly a very good prospect, still very young.
The boy from Alice Springs.
He should have plenty of football in front of him.
Well, he's found David Bain, who's doing the role of a centre-half forward at the moment, taking the marks across that line.
Well, the forwards have been well covered, haven't they? It's probably up to these on-ball running players to get in there and create some other options.
Well, Bain just waiting back. I'm sure he is just waiting for an option to lead. None forthcoming, and he will drive it long. We're looking for a big mark, possibly from Merritt. Merritt goes over his head. Through comes Campbell. Fresh legs on the ground. Gets the handball away to Rendell. Rendell round the body. Didn't like the way the ball hit the boot, and it swings away to the right for only one behind. So Matthew Rendell gets his first score of the night, and Brisbane move on slowly to 3-4. They're 3 goals behind North Melbourne, but has started this quarter in far better fashion than they did the opening bounce.
Yes, and North, on the other hand, Bernie, have looked a little perhaps sloppy, do you think?
A little bit sluggish this quarter. Sandy taking a little while to get into stride.
Just over 14 minutes remaining.
Oh, was that a free kick against the Schenko?
Well, one would have thought he came over the top, but the umpire said no, and Rendell sees it over the line.
Certainly looked like a free kick to Steve McCluckey in front.
Throw in. And Crocker bends it round his body up towards centre wing, towards Allison, who got a nudge over the line from Hart with the ball. Rendell and Ashenko. Rendell. Crocker. Buckley away to McRae. A high kick towards the half-forward line. Out comes McCarthy, but it's well fisted away from him. Up in the air it goes. Mark is taken, and a set shot will be for Anthony Dwyer from 50 metres. Passes in towards Longmire in front, and this time he holds it, so John Longmire will be kicking for his 4th for the night, and a steadier really for North Melbourne, who haven't scored up to date in this quarter.
It's the Brisbane Bears defenders not getting back there, filling up the gaps. It wasn't expected, of course, Longmire leading into that pocket. Maybe they expected Dwyer to have that shot at goal, but really you just have to cover all options again.
Longmire from 40 metres, coming back, but not enough. One behind. It's what, 2 behinds, Bernie?
There's 3 goals, 2 to John Longmire.
John Longmire.
His first score for the term.
And North 6-5. Plays 3-4. There's Martin Leslie coming back to play.
It does appear as if Leslie's been shifted to full-back onto Longmire. Perhaps Bernie get a check on that one.
Maybe I think he's just taking the kick in. Is Richard Champion now back on Longmire? Leslie moving. Yeah, it's just for that kick in, Jared.
Okay, it's Retzlaff round the corner. He's found Danny Noonan, who takes a good mark low to the ground. Coming up for his 8th possession, Noonan, starting to play some part in this game. And out comes Kennedy. Kennedy shuffles the ball forward. Could have been construed as a throw. Retzlaff blocked in against the boundary line. In fact, he's gone over the line. And a throw in on centre wing, just in front of the CUB insignature. We'll plug for John Elliott.
I don't think he's there anymore, is he?
I'm sure he'd have an interest. Oshenko drives the ball forward. Darryl White. Handball over the back, but he finds Dwyer. Dwyer around the corner. Leslie scrags Carey, but gets the big fist of the ball. The Bears have a pack of players there. Good support. White chipped kicks once again. Finds Noonan, and is that 50?
Oh, a little late, Jared, but the umpire bringing the ball back, getting the Brisbane Bear player out of the way. So Noonan to take that kick again, really nothing in that. He could have let play just continue on.
So Noonan drifting it in towards the centre. White drops what he should have taken, but recovers. It's the hand pass away. The Bears at the moment trailing by some 19 points. All on centre wing with Carey. Pulls it back nicely. Clever kick. Good vision. Stevens gets it away to Pickering. Penetrating kick to Longmire. Didn't control it long enough, said the umpire. Ashcroft.
Gee, Longmire copped one in the face there from his teammate, Sandy.
And he's down. We'll keep an eye on him. Down holding his head at the moment as I speak. We'll stay with the action.
That attempted kick, I think, came from Dwyer.
Scholl pulls it back nicely and finds McCarthy on centre wing. Well, he's up, Longmire. The question is he okay? McCarthy's kick to a congested half-forward line. Tackle almost too high. Umpire comes in. Now there is John Longmire. We'll see exactly what happened.
Yeah, I think it is Dwyer, the player just attempting to get that kick away. And there it is, we just see Longmire copping it, I think, just above that left eye. He appears to be okay, but that eye closed at the moment, saying, I can't see out of it.
McCarthy off, and Archer gets his first run for the night.
McCarthy, a player that really doesn't do enough for North Melbourne. A player of great promise, but that's all he ever has been, a player of great promise.
Only 3 touches today, so it's no wonder he's been benched. Good tap out from Rendell. Peter Mann gets the ball. He scrags, says the umpire, and he'll take the free kick 60 metres from goal. He'll look for Longmire.
If he can see it.
And Longmire, one out in the square. Champion comes across. That was Crocker, one out.
Quinn paid that mark very quick with a whistle there, the umpire. Fortunate to get that mark, Richard Champion. Looks like Roger Merritt's been moved out to centre half forward for the Brisbane Bears. And Matthew Campbell back to the square.
Well, the Bears take it forward through Hart. Hart goes to the left foot. He's looking for Merritt. Having a good battle with Fairley. Scholl and Kennedy. Scholl goes to the ground, looking for the free kick, but not forthcoming from the umpire. Picked up from Fairley. Fairley has time to measure his kick. Goes round the corner to Spargo. It was taken high from Ashcroft, and he'll take the free kick. Paul Spargo back in the side this evening and doing quite well. Over to Archer. Gets his first touch of the leather. Keen to do well. Gets his kick away. Not a good one. Goes to Darryl White, who has had a good quarter. Poor kick from White, however, is smothered from Ross Smith. Smith's kick's another poor one. Skill's a little bit lacking a little bit at the present time. Through comes Champion. Champion goes without it, and Longmire comes up. Unselfish play. Finds McRae. He lines up for goal, but the ball just drifts to the right of the goalpost. Brings up another behind for North Melbourne. They go on to 6-6, 42. Still 20 points in front of Brisbane.
Here's this Longmire incident again, Jared. Dwyer just attempting to get that kick away. We get a better vision of it there, and Longmire really copying that, the full brunt of the kick there from Dwyer.
Russell Jeffrey from half-back. Ishenko backs into the pack and almost controlled. Merritt wants someone going past, finds Retzlaff. The Bears wanting the next goal. They can cut the margin.
Free kick upfield, Sandy. Retzlaff downed after he kicked that ball to Matthew Campbell. Here we see it again. And just that little nudge away after he had got rid of it.
Kick by Campbell. It's high and long into the square. Buckley got up high. Did he get a touch? One behind. Good kick from Campbell as Brisbane moves to 3-5. North are 6-6. Temperature here in Melbourne expected to go down to around 8 degrees tonight. Richard Dennis had an excellent start to this game. Kick out to the outer side. North having the numbers in front, although Buckley's kick was partly smothered. It's high, back towards Dennis and Hutton once again. They're both jostling with each other. Seem to be 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, Bernie, but Richard Dennis has been given the football.
Appeared to be a pretty tough decision, didn't it, against Hutton? And we see it again in replay. I think they were just
they're both
really
dancing,
bustling against each other. And in the end, Dennis just falling over by himself. It's been play on in my book.
However, he has the free kick and he goes out to Alex Ishenko, who drifts it over the top to Craig Scholl, who hits the deck, but was pushed, said the umpire. So the 91 best and fairest kicks it up over the centre. Leslie has given away a free kick and he cannot believe it. Play on is the call. German's kick to Longmire. Couldn't take it on the chest as he fell. McCluckey tries to get the hand pass away. It's effective. A high kick back towards Kennedy, and he takes the mark on the half-back flank. Clark, we understand, is back out on the ground, and he's got 4 stitches in his forehead, but it's good to see that he's out of the rooms and back on the bench. So the ball's still on the half-forward line for Brisbane, and another bounce.
Ishenko off for the Bears for North Melbourne, I should say, and Peter German back on.
Well, Marcus Ashcroft is the only player to have scored a goal in this quarter, so it shouldn't go a long time. Just over 5 minutes of play left, with McRae driving North Melbourne forward along the members' wing. Ducking back is Green. Carey at the back. Comes onto his left hand, but goes to the centre where McRae is followed down. Can he maintain his balance? That he does. Gets the handball away. Finds Ross Smith. Follows up McRae, and this would be a marvellous goal if he makes a distance. He does. Good goal, McRae.
Throughout the years, Jif has...
But North Melbourne with a commanding lead. The Bears have had all the action. They haven't been able to convert. This time it's German who wins the free kick in the centre. The most vital place to get one. Carey, too strong for Leslie, just bustles him out of play. And he'll line up from 50 metres out. The long kick from Carey. But over the back. It's punched through by Ashley Green. Another point to North Melbourne.
Hamilton off for the Brisbane Bears. A lot of changes being made by both coaches. And back on the ground, Troy Clark after he's been stitched up.
Johnny Gestev. Little chip kick, and he was offshore right. Good tackle from Crocker. Should be paid the free kick. And good decision, Hayden Kennedy.
Yes, excellent, excellent. You've got no complaints there, Sean Hart, because he was off over the mark. One place was enough. The umpire saw that, and play on.
And play on he does, and he finds Long John Longmire, who will shoot for goal from only 30 metres out.
It's a pass again. Another mistake they've made by the Brisbane Bears, and I know they're trying to play on football.
Longmire for his 4th for the night. Well, it wasn't his best kick of the evening. Out of bounds on the full.
3-2 and 1 out on the full for John Longmire. Leslie. Towards Merritt. Mann is the spoiler from behind, pushing it down to the 50-metre line. Steaming through is Smith, who hits the goal. He fires away. But it's a wild shot. And he's not overly impressed by it. Champion again. From the back pocket. Mann has his name written all over that.
This man now doing the ruck work with the Shenko off the ground.
Towards full forward. Couple of flyers there. Gastev in all sorts of trouble at the bottom. Stevens gets the hand pass away. A snap is by Smith. He was wildly Australian a few moments ago. That was better directed, but eventually forced through for one behind. 7-8 plays 3-5 with under 3 minutes remaining in this first half here at the MCG. It's the start of a very, very busy weekend of football. And 6 of the 7 matches played you'll be able to see on 7, but wherever you may be viewing, don't forget, check your local guides. Gastev is at the bottom of the pack, doing all the work for the Bears on his own. Gets it out towards Jeffrey. Crunch goes Smith. But Hart rides the bump, and he rides it well. Out to Retzlaff. Towards half forward. Again, North teaming well. Bootless, but it makes no difference. Only as far as McCluckie came the kick from Fairley. Baines sweeps it wide to the running Retzlaff. Just gets his kick in towards Hutton, who was a little too casual, and an opportunity Fernie goes begging.
Well, you'd expect a class player, John Hutton, a very experienced player, to take a mark like that on the forward line out in front. And the player, Richard Dennis, not able to get there to affect the spoil, but Hutton just dropping that himself.
Retzlaff brings the ball back. Hutton once again with the one hand. Ball stays in play. There's a free kick being paid for a scrag on Darryl White. What do you think, Bernie?
Well, I thought that was very soft, Jared, because Darryl White just threw his arm out. And I tell you, it is good tactics these days to throw your arms out, because once the umpire sees that, they act instinctively and often pay the free kick.
Darryl White shoots from a very acute angle, but not an impossible one. It looks good off the boot. In fact, it looks very good. John Hutton gives it his approval.
Leo. Time. Fairley with his boots back on. Kicks to the half-forward line. Jeffrey showed courage. Wide out in front of Clark, who's also shown courage because he's got 4 stitches in his head. They could get another one. We could be in for a very tight contest in the second half. No mark taken, although Campbell was trying to claim it. He does get the hand pass out towards Hutton. Still inside 50. Time ticking down. 3/4 of a minute remaining in the first half. Someone has to take a mark. They can't. Campbell working hard for the Bears at the bottom of the pack. The ball is locked in there.
The Bears really, Sandy, you've had nothing from their key forwards. Merritt's been quiet. Yep. Shackie's off the ground. Hutton hasn't done a lot. Got a couple of kicks early when he was playing at centre half forward, but really hasn't had a sniff at full forward.
Yes, they've certainly had enough of the ball, particularly in this quarter, but it hasn't shown on the scoreboard. And now it'll be Mann who takes the hand pass to come away for North Melbourne. To the half-forward line, it's reasonably vacant. Champion leaves Longmire. Now Longmire catches him, and it could prove very costly. Carey on the siren. One behind. Will it count? It will count, I believe. So that one behind to Carey leaves North at 7:09:51.
As he got that kick in just before the umpire had signalled full time, so it does count.
But John Longmire, who caught one in the head in that second quarter, appears to be okay. He's kicked 3 goals for the quarter. Darryl White receiving encouragement from Roger Merritt after that marvellous goal. And at half-time here at the MCG, North leads 7:09:51 to Brisbane 4:5:29. Second half, and it is the Bears trailing by 22 points. The whistle has sounded, so there's an infringement in the square, and it is going against North Melbourne. The Bears could get the first couple here, Bernie. They'd certainly give them a sniff, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they're not without a chance, Sandy. Matthew Kennedy playing at centre-half forward now for the Bears.
Rendell's kick goes up towards the half-forward line. It is hammered down towards full forward, but Richard Dennis has been like the Rock of Gibraltar all night. He steadies and finds Smith on the half-back flank.
I can't see Merritt out there, Sandy. He may have started the second half on the bench for the Bears.
Yes, in his comeback match, it hasn't been easy for him. White, can he get clear? Well, lightning hand pass across to David Bain, who loses it but then regains it. Kicks under pressure, wide towards the wing, but it's okay. It finds a teammate in Danny Noonan. Noonan drifts it back to Bain, who's slipped down in towards the forward pocket region. He's still outside 50. It'll be too far out for him, but he centres it in towards full forward. Oh, Schenko out in front, stood his ground well. Dennis comes storming through, gets a hurried quick kick. Or just a hurried kick would be fine. Thank you, Bernie. German to half forward. Danger now for the Bears. Longmire is there, couldn't take it. Man at the back, sweeps a wide hand pass to Spargo. Was it the right option? Spargo is caught, gets the hand pass away. Carey's in trouble, back pedals, gives a little ground, but it's going to be effective. The mark is taken outside 50 by Peter German. I don't know how confident he is of kicking it. He's going back now. In fact, he's just chipping to Longmire.
Oh, and hit very hard by Champion. But obviously, German was too far out again. Longmire already received a nasty boot to the face there from his teammate earlier in Dwyer. You see again on the lead, the Bears players not getting back there and filling up those gaps, and a very similar incident to the one we saw in the interstate game with Richard Osborne and Johnny Worsfold.
Yeah. Longmire's kick for goal is good. He's got his fourth. And a good start for North Melbourne in this second half. They move to 8-9, leading Brisbane 4-5.
Oh, that really is the difference between the two sides. Longmire playing at full forward, Wayne Carey playing at centre-half forward. They have two very good forwards. You see the pass again coming there from Peter German, and Richard Champion obviously realising he couldn't get to the ball, just made John Longmire really earn that one. And something we might have to have a look at in the future in football, I think, Sandy, incidents such as that.
Schenko and Rendell once again in the centre. Dwyer comes through, puts his head over the ball, but it's Bain on the bottom of the pack. Can't get rid of it. How does the umpire see it?
Oh, well, that's holding the ball decision there, not paid. But he really had one arm tied up. Bain couldn't do anything with it. It should have been a holding the ball decision.
Is Bain a little bit of pain by the looks?
The pain in pain. The pain in Bain.
Well, the rain has stayed away, Bernie, as Russell Jeffrey takes the ball away. The Bears must retaliate with a goal now. Long driving kick. Campbell out in the square by himself. He gives a little bit of a nudge. He goes to the ground himself, but has given away the free kick, and Craig Scholl will kick North Melbourne back into attack. Scholl comes wide. He was looking for Schenko, but the kick was far too distant from him. Ben Buckley broke his arm a couple of times last year, so good to see him back getting a couple of games under his belt. Round the corner goes Hart. And Scholl once again repels the Bears' attack. Breaking down a little bit across our forward, Bernie.
Yes, well, that's been the problem all night for the Brisbane Bears. They haven't had the forwards to convert. Merritt on the bench, Shaki on the bench. Matthew Campbell, usually known as a defender, is playing up at full forward alongside Hutton. Both those players either full forward or forward pocket. It doesn't matter all that much. And Kennedy also playing centre-half forward at the start of this second half.
Hamilton to Jeffrey to Hutton. In towards full forward. Campbell having to do the work at the back. North having the numbers at the fall of the ball. Should get out of trouble, and they do. Anthony Dwyer takes the mark, plays on with a hand pass to Peter German from half back. He goes towards centre wing. There was a little bit of a nudge there on Allison, but it's going to work in his favour. McRae took the extra step and goes long in towards full forward over the top for one behind. North move along to 8 goals 10. Have doubled exactly the Bears' score. As Green brings it back into play. White, the flyer, got a hand to it, couldn't get the second grab. Allison quickly onto the left boot. Again, he had 2 or 3 options there. He chose Stevens, who tries to flick it round his body. Carey couldn't take the mark. Longmire recovers, snaps in towards goal. Which way will it bounce? Spargo wants his 99th goal, and he's got it. Has he missed? Or is he going to get another kick?
Presenting the Olympic coverage, Uncle Toby's serving Australia's best.
They strive with all their hearts to cover their country in glory. They are the pride of Australia. From July 25th, Barcelona, birthplace of new legends.
Sharing the love, the laughter, the tears. 3 friends learn what life is all about. Babies premieres Sunday on Prime.
North Melbourne kick further ahead. Darryl White out of the centre, playing the ruck roving role. Last week a ruckman, a talented player. Russell Jeffries, formerly of the Wanderers in Northern Territory. McClucky. He finds Retzlaff. Retzlaff moves the ball on a little bit slowly. However, the free kick's been paid downfield, and Hutton will be the recipient. Took the mark in any case, wearing the armadillo-type headguard. Drives the ball long to the top of the square. It's all North Melbourne, and the big Alex Ishenko drops back and takes a tally mark deep in defence. Out to Scholl. Scholl goes wide with Stevens. Stevens started the quarter well. Drives the ball on his preferred left foot, and an excellent kick to Carey. Carey goes away but gets scragged by the scruff of the pants. Crocker taken to ground by Gastev. Is that a free kick?
Oh, that was a good tackle. I saw some free kicks paid last week, Gerard. They certainly would have been paid as holding the ball decisions if, well, looking at that game last week, Brisbane Bears and Essendon. A lot of very quick decisions last week. The umpire's not so severe this week.
Peter Mann takes the ball. Crocker round the corner, be looking for Longmire. 1 out. Too easy, Longmire. Ashley Green's been moved down onto John Longmire, but has been beaten hands down in the last 2 times the ball has come down.
Oh, I think he's just too big and too strong there for Green. We see Longmire very strong in the upper body. I think really they're playing their best full back at full forward, and that player being Matthew Campbell.
Longmire for his 4th. He's got it.
Everywhere you look, there's another brilliant picture waiting to be taken. But if you want to get it right, you'd better get CameraWise. It's full of practical advice and expert tips, like how to take action shots with different kinds of cameras, and how to avoid silhouettes by using flash when shooting into the sun. It also tells you about camcorders and how to plan your shots for a better video. If you want to get it right every time, you'd better get CameraWise. Part 1 is on sale now.
Number 5 for John Longmire. 10-10, plays 4-5. Schenko doing the ruck work up against Rendell. It's the latter who wins it. But can they get it out of the centre? No, they can't. Crocker's away. Down deep into the forward line once again to Longmire and Carey territory. Champion in trouble. Gets the hand pass away to Leslie. A hurried kick, a short kick, but he finds Gastev out on the halfback flank. Gastev to centre wing. Can they start something here? Kennedy got the hand pass away. McClucky follows it down, takes it back again, kicks in towards half forward. Campbell gets the front spot, but he can't take the mark. Steele tidies up, and again, this North defence will run it out. There's a line of 3 or 4 of them as they go back to the centre, and Peter German. He goes over the top. Oh, bad bounce for Stevens. Loses it. White also loses it. Back to German again it comes. Can he get clear? No, he can't. He's got to swing it round his body into the pocket. Longmire can't take the mark. He's edged out. Champion is there. Gives it away to Hamilton, who goes straight across the ground and finds Clark. Troy Clark onto Ashcroft. Into the centre. McClucky. This time perhaps for Ashcroft. Floating kick, but it's not a good one. It drops short. And look at this. North again with the numbers. Schenko over the top to Steele. Back to Mann. The former West Australian goes to the half-forward line and finds Crocker. On the old cricket pitches, Darren Crocker, he stabs in towards half-forward, and Paul Spargo takes the mark. Goes back to Crocker. He's outside 50, the full forward. Longmire's at the back. Champion to do the tidying up. Longmire, he's going to do it on his own, is he? Pulls it round his body, but pulls it too far this time, and one behind.
5 goals, 3 to Johnny Longmire, and 1 out of bounds on the full. So we're having a bit of a picnic up at full forward tonight. Probably the only really effective forward on the ground, although Carey has done reasonably well at centre-half forward for North Melbourne.
Well, Ashley Green looks out of his depth on Longmire. Sure, Robert Walls won't leave him there too much longer to be persecuted as Hart brings the ball back into play. The back of the pack was Ross Smith. He can't take it, but through comes Mann, who's been impressive. Carey around the corner, and he's got Stevens on his own. Stevens, a natural left footer, will swing this ball probably to the top of the square, looking for Longmire, 1 out. Drives the ball long. Longmire's got 2 to beat. Now he's got 3 as Gaskev comes over. Punts the ball straight to Spargo, who goals.
What's the most you'll pay for a 5-minute STD call to anywhere in Australia?
$10 to $15, $12, $15, $6 to $10, something like that.
$6.
Or about $7.
$15. Easy. Well, it might surprise you, but the absolute most a 5-minute call to anywhere in Australia can cost is only $2.75, and it's even cheaper during off-peak times.
I thought it'd be a bit more than that, honest to goodness.
Telecom STD. Isn't there someone you should be calling right now?
North have opened up the biggest margin in the match so far, 8 goals, 11-11. Plays 4-5, couple to Spargo in this quarter. Let's see who can win it out of the centre. Aerial ping-pong going on at the moment. Eventually Bain comes through, gets a kick round his body up to the half-forward line. The bounce could be good for Hutton. No, it is not. The North defence has been very solid in this quarter. They've done it in numbers and they've done it well. Well, there's an effective steal by Hart. He had to beat a couple of players there and did it well. Back in towards full forward. Dennis dropping back. A Retzlaff is there. So too Hutton. Taken towards the line by Buckley. He may keep it in play to Scholl. He does. Who can go over the top to Dwyer. Watch out. Clark back again to Dwyer. That was good play because Clark was there and he had to find Steele in between. Ishenko, look at North run now. Across the centre. Allison stabs to Longmire. Oh, he plays on, swings round into goal, and is this going to cap a great piece of football? It is. Well, that's the sort of football North can play.
Yes, the sort of football really, Sandy, that the North supporters have been waiting for a long time. It's been a dismal year by the Shinboners. They've played very ordinary football. In fact, they haven't won a game here at the MCG for the entire 1992 season, but there we see the hand pass coming from the bigger Russian, Alex Ishenko, and Johnny Longmire is taking his chance here, playing on very quickly. Hutton off the ground for the Brisbane Bears, and Lawrence Shackey back on, but John Longmire just grasping the chance there and playing on quickly to kick that goal.
Yes, Shackey takes himself down to full forward as the Bears come through White, but it's taken out of the centre by Archer. Archer goes long. Carey. Ball goes now to German. He'll just waltz in and go for goal, and does.
This is the key. Your key to reliability and economy. With 39 Isuzu truck models to choose from, the range is now bigger and better than ever. Improved standard features like power steering and adjustable seating make Isuzu the truck for driving comfort. Advanced design diesel engines make Isuzu the truck for power and efficiency. Easy maintenance and low-cost repairs make Isuzu the truck you want to be in. To experience your Isuzu truck, speak to Peter Amore Motors, Ballarat, or Winter and Taylor, Geelong.
This is a blistering period of play by the Roos. Let's see what happens in the middle this time. Ishenko hammers it down towards half-forward. In they go again. Stevens gets a bad bounce. Smith shows strength. They could kick another one here. Allison steadies from 45 metres, heads in towards goal! And behind as John Longmire attempted to do the shepherding. 13-12, plays 4-5.
Hit-outs 22 to North Melbourne, 9 to the Brisbane Bears. Ishenko dominating the ruck duels.
Champion short to Noonan. Danny Noonan 7th kick, so he hasn't had a big influence on the game to date. The Hart takes the mark. He's coming in for kick number 11. Up towards centre wing and finds Troy Clark. The nasty one earlier on, but he's recovered. Taken by Russell Jeffrey. Took the mark just inside 50 and be kicking just outside. Stabs a short one. No mark to Bain. Play on. The North defence, relentless. That's where their attacks have started. Now German, well beaten on that occasion. Solid mark taken by Ashley Green. Back towards half forward once again. Should be a free kick, and it will be. Holding on to going to Russell Jeffrey.
Yes, he's now playing on the forward line. I think Champion's now back at full back. In fact, he is. So Green only a short stint in the full-back position on Longmire.
As Brendan Retzlaff goes for his first goal and the Bears' first score for the quarter. Pretty good looking kick, and he's kicked his first and the Bears' first for the quarter.
Most you'll pay for a 5-minute STD call to anywhere in Australia.
$10, $15, $12, $15, $6 to $10, something like that.
$6.
Or about $7.
$15. Easy.
Well, it might surprise you, but the absolute most a 5-minute call to anywhere in Australia can cost is only $2.75, and it's even cheaper during off-peak times.
I thought it'd be a bit more than that. Honest to goodness.
Telecom STD. Isn't there someone you should be calling right now?
Light rain falling at the MCG as the ball goes to the ground again with another tap out from Oishenko. Carey drops back and takes the easiest of chest marks. He goes away. Good play from Carey. Poor checking from Leslie, and Carey runs into goal. How easy is that, umpire? A goal.
Well, that's unbelievable, isn't it? As North Melbourne surge further in front. Wayne Carey, of course, a very promising player for North Melbourne, playing at centre-half forward. Again, we see Oishenko getting that tap down. A quick kick out of the pack there by Smith. And there he had hold of him and lets him go. Just pointing at the mark instead of worrying about the player. Don't worry about the umpiring, Martin Leslie. Let the umpire do that and get on with the game yourself. Your job there to mind Wayne Carey, not let him run around you.
Carey's first. North's 14-12, plays 5-5, so the Roos have the quick reply. It's their 7th for the quarter. McCluckey gets it out of the middle with a kick down towards half forward. Clark's got to wait for the bounce. He tried to tap it forward, but Dennis read it beautifully, just waited back. He really has been, he's given almost a faultless display tonight, Richard Dennis.
Of course, a premiership player at Carlton, Sandy, in 1987, Richard Dennis.
Correct.
Before he had some serious knee problems.
Stevens is on half-back. Looks for Crocker and finds him in front of Ashcroft. Well, this will do North's confidence no end of good. I know it's not going to help the Bears, but both clubs have been down. Leslie plays on. It's a high kick, doesn't have a great deal of distance. There's the spring of White. What a mark. Off to Rendell, but his kick is partly smothered. Steele should come steaming through here. He does. Oishenko stands his ground. He's like the general in the middle, just farming out the hand passes. This should result in another goal. Dwyer over the top. Mann will have a shot. And there it is. Too easy. Peter Mann gets his first, the ex-Claremont boy. North career away, 15-12 to 5-5.
Yes, it's been an 8-goal turn by North Melbourne. Really finding things a lot easier than they did in that first half. 6 goals in the first quarter, but struggled in the second quarter. And that almost a training drill. Another turnover from the Brisbane Bears, very costly. A player involved in that, Matt Rendell, has been taken from the ground. Roger Merritt back on for the Brisbane Bears.
And Matthew Kennedy will resume ruck duties with Roger Merritt dropping back midway across the half-back line. The Bears playing an extra man in defence. Once again, Oishenko with a big tap out. Stevens on the ground, puddles the ball in front of him, slips at the vital moment and is swarmed upon by a bevy of Bears. I'll have it, says the umpire. No, he won't. He'll give the free kick. Ellison there on the bottom of the pack. Or was that Dwyer? However, Bain will take the free kick. The Bears need to do something on the scoreboard. Hart takes the ball down to Merritt. Merritt with the handball finds McLucky. McLucky goes wide looking for Jeffrey. Jeffrey handballs to the voice. However, the voice was Dennis. Dennis to Buckley. Buckley drives it long. Allison at the back. Goes without the ball. Carey at the back doing the roving. Ball on the ground, and Gastev's first there. Gastev gets taken high by his own man in Hamilton.
He's going to get a free kick.
Well, the free kicks now, 17 to the Bears and 20 to North Melbourne, so perhaps they're trying to even them up.
Look at that again, Jared. Force wide, the Brisbane Bears. We saw that chance in attack with McLucky, and he went wide into that pocket looking for the lead of Russell Jeffrey. But again, they've been forced wide on most occasions. They cannot seem to attack down the centre of the ground as North Melbourne has done on most occasions in this third quarter. They've used the centre corridor area very well.
Well, John Gastev, as usual, on the bottom of the pack. The ball up will take place 15 metres out from North Melbourne's goal. Roger Merritt is lurking across that half-back line. Perhaps he could go forward. Mann taps the ball but goes straight to Ashcroft, who throws the ball on the boot, and it lands just inside the boundary line on their half-back flank.
Brisbane Bears runner has covered a lot of ground tonight, Sandy. He's hardly been off the field.
Yes, he knows how Steve Monaghetti would feel, I would suggest, after a marathon. North towards Longmire territory again, almost took a wonderful catch. Mann has just kicked one goal, but he can't get clear on that occasion. Champion is held at the bottom. The bounce to take place. Under 8 minutes remaining. It's been an 8-goal blast by North Melbourne this quarter. One would suggest the best football they've played for a while. Stevens at the bottom, he throws it out, not so subtly, and David Bain takes it. Away he goes. Noonan to Hart, off to Hamilton, into the middle and the running Bain. Got a bit of room now. Schenko almost gave away a free kick there to Bain. Kennedy gets the hand pass away. Here's a chance for Ashcroft, running into the open goal. And he's put through number 6 for the Bears.
I move with the times, with progress. I expect high performance. For the delicate eye area, I've discovered Plenitude Contour Regard Eye Defense.
The latest innovation from the laboratories of L'Oreal. Contour Regard combines the lightness of a cream gel with the effective ingredients of liposomes.
Contour Regard's triple action actively fights against the appearance of lines, puffiness, and dark shadows.
Plenitude Eye Defense from L'Oreal reduces the visible signs of aging.
Peter Mann will contest this ruck throw for North Melbourne, with Ishenko taking the bench for having a bit of a well-earned rest. Ross Smith round the corner. North Melbourne are dominating those centre bounces. Wayne Carey, good handball, finds German, who's under pressure. German throws it out to McRae, who's been quiet this quarter after a good first half. His kick finds Champion, who has dropped back onto Longmire. Champion over to Hamilton. Hamilton swings the left hand to the running Gastev, and Gastev goes wide. He's got McLucky in space. But the kick wasn't great. It was taken over the boundary line by Liam Pickering.
They've been forced wide, haven't they, all night, Jared? Again, coming out of defence. They make it very difficult. The direct route is the best route, and that's straight down the middle of the ground here at the MCG. It's not a big ground if you use the centre corridor area.
Quick kick from Ellison also finds the boundary line. So a little bit of a delay in proceedings at the moment, which I'm sure the Bears won't mind after an 8-goal burst from North Melbourne. They really have shown some of the form that's been lacking all season. Ashcroft, well taken out, finds Retzlaff. Retzlaff goes with a bit of a mongrel and finds Peter Mann, who's dropping a kick behind play.
Yes, and that being the case, is picking up plenty of touches as North go forward once again. Down towards half forward. Longmire gave a little bit of a nudge and could have taken it. Could be a free kick for some holding on, though, here going the way of Paul Spargo.
Yes, the umpire spotting that. He was holding the Guernsey there, Hamilton. And, yes, making his feelings well and truly known to the umpire.
Yes, I don't think he was inviting him for dinner, was he?
I don't think so. Spargo already with 2 goals in this term. Kicking for goal from about 40 metres out.
This is for number 9 for the quarter. But it's not very pretty off the boot and through for behind. So Paul Spargo, 2 goals 2. 15-13 the Roos. The Bears are 6-5. Just on 5 minutes remaining. Gastev telling Champion where to kick it. And a bit of a push there against Merritt. Roger Merritt has been on and off the bench, but has been very quiet when he has been on, coming back, of course, after a layoff. Gastev at the back. Here's an opportunity from 52 metres. John Gastev in towards goal. It should roll through. So John Gastev gets a valuable goal for the Bears. That's his first.
And his first goal for the year, Sandy, in fact. Johnny Gastev.
For the year.
Of course, yes, first goal for the year.
And for the night.
As we see that kick.
64th for the season.
For the career.
For the career.
Yes, exactly. Johnny Gastev, very good player in defence for the Bears.
7-5, plays 15-13. Noonan's kick is smothered out of the centre. Retzlaff hurriedly gets boot the ball. Well, again, Dennis chanced his arm, picked it up wonderfully well on the half volley, and a good, strong mark taken by Darren Crocker. It's close to the man on the mark. Longmire got a hand to it. He may have given a nudge too, but the umpire said go on with it. So Champion does and gets it out to Merritt. Oh, his hand pass goes astray. It could be costly, although Spargo's gone, I fear.
Yes, he held on to that far too long, Spargo. He was surrounded by 3 Brisbane Bears players. And it was either for a throw or holding the ball, Jared. One or the other. It didn't matter all that much.
No. To centre wing. Steele and Bain were contesting. Leslie gets a hurried kick. And will it go over the line? Yes. 3 3/4 minutes remaining. Margin 56 points.
Man punches the ball forward for North Melbourne. German taken high. And the umpire will say, no, Darren Crocker, you'll have to take that ball back and give it to the man who earned it. German swings it into the middle of the ground. He finds Peter Mann with the silks around the hamstrings. Kicks that ball almost directly to Roger Merritt, who takes an easy mark. Merritt goes to the running Hamilton. Hamilton has Spargo in pursuit, but is knocked off the ball by Buckley. A strong player. Excellent play by Buckley, finds McRae. He'll go long to the square where Longmire's one out with Champion. Champion does the right thing, taking the front spot. And good support play from Kennedy, sees the ball over the boundary line. In fact, it was Green on support.
Interesting to see how many times the Brisbane Bears have turned it over. Unforced errors really have crept into their game this evening. They were very competitive last week against Essendon, and they really only slipped away in that last part of the match, but tonight they just really turned the ball over on far too many occasions.
Champion to the running Hutton. Hutton with plenty of space, but the Bears forwards are running backwards towards goal. They are given the luck of the bounce there with Leslie, who has swapped with Campbell. The ball driven into the forward line. Lawrence Shackey at the back is besieged by North Melbourne players, and Scholl takes the ball out of the danger zone. Poor mark drop, which allows Clark to go in and shoot for goal. He chips the kick forward, and Matthew Kennedy, a courageous mark.
No, it's been touch off the boot, I think, Jared. Yes, the umpire indicating. And it was a very good effort from Matthew Kennedy, drifting back into the pack to take that grab, or intended grab.
Well, he was most disappointed with Hayden Kennedy's decision. Well, he might be. Mann once again taps the ball straight to Bain. Bain onto Gastev, who should kick a goal. Round the corner he goes. And he's got it home. John Gastev kicks his second for the night. And Brisbane go on to 8 goals 5. They still trail North Melbourne dismally. 15-14, 104.
Second for the quarter, second for the night, and second for the year. Johnny Gastev drifting down from the half-back line. He's still playing as a defender, so 2 goals kicked off that half-back flank for the term, Johnny Gastev. I think he's in fact picking up Darren Crocker.
"51 points the margin." Kennedy beats Mann. Crocker's kick is high. Gathers little ground. Still virtually in the middle. Eventually Spargo gets a kick down to half forward. Merritt had the leap but couldn't take it. Champion doing the work from the bottom finds Campbell. Well, his kick is sadly astray.
Yeah, we see another turnover, Sandy. It's just happened on so many occasions for the Brisbane Bears.
Smith goes short, and again it could be costly. Spargo heads for home with a long kick in towards Longmire. He has kicked 6.
3 in the first quarter, 3 in this third quarter. We see this mark again, just nudging Champion out of the contest and going back to take a very simple mark.
So he likes this end of the ground. He's now kicked 7. The North answering every goal the Bears produced. 16-14 to 8-5.
See Johnny Longmire's 44th goal for the season from another turnover from the Brisbane Bears out of defence. Gee, it's monotonous the way they've been doing that, just turning it over, no pressure being applied by the North Melbourne forwards, and yet haven't been able to find the target on so many occasions. It's become monotonous.
Just 37 seconds left to play in the third quarter. It's been a 9-goal term to North Melbourne. Their best for many, many weeks. Oh, and it unbelievable kick off the ground from Hutton. Misses the ball, and Ross Smith takes it away. Can they make it 10 for the quarter? Longmire interfered with, but Champion takes the mark. Champion, well, he's fumbled the ball all night, Campbell, after coming on. He pushed in the back. No free kick, says the umpire. And Green looks for the refuge at the boundary line with 11 seconds on the clock.
Well, unbelievable there. An All-Australian player, Matthew Campbell, back in 1987. One of the original Bears. And yet that very simple mark dropped.
3-quarter time here at the MCG then. And a very good quarter for North Melbourne. 16-14, 110. They lead the Brisbane Bears 8-5-53.
For a Victorian viewpoint. A complete 30-minute bulletin. From around the corner, around the world. Not just any news. Jennifer Kite, 6 o'clock on Prime.
Michael? Yeah, Dad? Your National Mutual agent? Yeah. How did she know what you needed to protect your family now and in the future? She asked.
National Mutual, for the most important person in the world.
At the break of day, when the world's asleep, someone's looking after you. They bake the freshest goods for you, full of goodness and great taste, so you can take home the best. Take home the very best from Gillies. The name that you can trust, Gillies.
The St. George Freedom account has the edge. You pay no account keeping fees. Your personal checks from the savings in your account are free of St. George fees. With the Freedom Visa card, you have worldwide access to your savings through automatic teller machines and cashless shopping. Your savings grow with daily interest.
At St. George, we're working harder to make your money work smarter for you with the Freedom account. What a great idea.
There'll never be a job too big or small, 'cause Conroy's have it all.
No matter what your painting job, Conroy's Paint Corner, your 3D Paint City, is the place to go. Paul Fruity and his staff offer you discount prices, dependable service and decorative ideas. Quality paint, accessories and wallpaper too. The best start you can make on any painting job is to go to Conroy's 3D Paint City.
Check out Conroy's new Walpamure $39.95 room pack promotion, out now.
It's nearly bedtime, so how about a hot chocolate made with pure, fresh milk? Hot from your microwave. Now that's a nightcap. Pure, fresh milk. Good night.
Accident?
Nothing serious.
Or illness?
I want the results back on this as soon as possible.
Taking drastic measures.
I'm afraid I won't be there.
Isolated.
You're not telling me why.
And afraid.
I'm perfectly able to diagnose what's wrong with me.
A doctor's greatest fear.
He must suspect what's left.
A country practice.
I want to know what's wrong with you.
Monday on Prime.
A huge doubleheader, the guaranteed blockbuster. Hawthorn on West Coast plus Fitzroy against Carlton. Two big games, exclusive Saturday at 6.
Round 14 continues tomorrow and on Sunday. It's a big weekend. Tomorrow at Waverley Park, Hawthorn plays the West Coast Eagles, a replay of last year's grand final. Fitzroy takes on Carlton. That too will be a big game. And Richmond plays St Kilda here at the MCG. Whilst on Sunday, Sydney plays host to Geelong, Adelaide plays Essendon, and what should be a crackerjack game, Collingwood plays Footscray, with Melbourne having the bye. Wherever you may be viewing though, don't forget, check your local guides for detailed times. It's three-quarter time here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground at the moment, and a 9-goal blast by North Melbourne sees them in a commanding position. 16-14, 110. Brisbane are 8-5 at 53. Reminder of some of the top sport that you can see exclusively on 7. Princes Park next week, next Friday night, plays host to the second Rugby League Test. It should be a beauty. Australia playing Great Britain. And then looking further ahead, we have the jewel in the sporting crown, the games of the 25th Olympiad from Barcelona. The opening ceremony is on July the 25th, and all the action right through until the closing ceremony can be seen only on 7. Time now for another boundary report, and here's the gloved one.
Well, Wayne Schimmelbusch was reasonably happy at three-quarter time. He felt that his players played well in that third quarter. They ran hard at the ball, and he cited the case of Ross Smith in that quarter when he ran, knocked a couple of Bears players over and then moved the ball down the field. While Robert Walls is still disappointed with his players. He said, let's get back to the basics, fellows. We can't do anything with the ball unless we've got it, and we haven't got enough players out there prepared to win the ball, so let's get out there and get stuck into winning the ball. I don't think the Bears are out of this. I think a quick 8 goals at the start of this quarter, and they're right back in the game, Sandy.
You're an extraordinary man. Right, let's have a quick look, gentlemen, at the stats for the third quarter.
Got to stop that comedy, Tim, surely. Brisbane, well, not all that far out of it. North Melbourne really converting just far more in that forward line than Brisbane Bears were able to do. The hit-outs 13-2, and that's really with Lashenko dominating the ruck around the centre square area. Rendell's been off the ground. Kennedy's been tried in the ruck. And the centre breaks 8-6, but really the second efforts and third efforts, North Melbourne getting the ball into that forward line. And with the forwards, Carey and Longmire, they have been able to convert.
Yes, and Bernie, the Bears, you know, as we saw by those stats, they have plenty of use of the football, but as I think Jared said during the call, may have 5 or 6 touches and movements to go probably 20 metres.
Yes, exactly. Well, they're not going direct either, Sandy.
No.
And when their skills aren't up to the level of we expect at AFL, they just turn over the ball on so many occasions.
Well, let's see what they can do in the final quarter. North Melbourne 16-14, 110. Brisbane are 8-5, 53. And a bit of pride on the line here. Test of character for this Bears side. They've shown throughout the season that they can be competitive. They had a classic draw with the West Coast Eagles at Carrara, but that was earlier on. Since then, it hasn't been easy. When they've been away from home, it's been even tougher. Here's Archer bursting his way through for North Melbourne. Up towards the half-forward line, and Longmire couldn't take the mark. Campbell is there for the Bears. Gets away the hand pass to Hart, and Hart's kick is wide to the outer side where White takes the mark on the half-back flank. Very athletic player to Ashcroft. They've got the ball now. What can they do with it? Buckley should tidy up at the back. Has plenty of time, the vice-captain. goes back to the centre and straight onto the chest. German takes the hand pass, floats a high kick towards the 50-metre line, and a good grab taken by Carey. Wastes no time, swings round, but swings too far and pulls the ball into the left forward pocket where it wobbles over the line.
It looks as though Campbell now playing centre-half back for Brisbane on Wayne Carey. Just trying to pick up where Martin Leslie is playing. Have you seen, Jerry?
Half forward, is he?
I haven't, Bernie. Well, the ball's at the back of the pack, and German picks it up, but he's kicked that ball high enough to go through the hole in the ozone layer. To the ground, man to Archer, and Archer round the corner. This is a great snap from Archer. A goal. Glenn Archer kicks his first goal, and North Melbourne career ahead. 17-14, plays Brisbane, 8 goals 5.
Well, the answer to that other question, Martin Leslie playing centre-half forward for the Brisbane Bears, and Matthew Campbell, as I said, playing at centre-half back, but there's that snap out of the pack by Archer. And a very good snap at that. So North Melbourne continue along their merry way.
Glenn Archer, young man from Noble Park, getting his first. 116 plays 53. The bounce is not exactly brilliant.
And that, Sandy, was his first goal in AFL football.
Well, excellent. And what a way to do it. It was a beauty. Still virtually in the middle. So we have another bounce. Schenko has been very good tonight. He's had a couple of spells on the bench, but he's certainly needed them. He's worked tirelessly. Kennedy can't get an effective kick away. Smith gets a quick one. Gastev goes to ground. Now this opens the door for Crocker. Hamilton's got to give chase on him. He might get him too. No, he won't. Crocker gets clear. In towards half forward. Carey is the target. Oh, will Archer do it again? He's outside 50. No, cleverly does it to McRae, who's directly in front and 45 out.
Yeah, it's very good use of the ball there by Archer. He didn't panic. He realised that he would have had to kick that ball a long way around his body. He just looked for the options there. And McRae has played pretty well tonight for North Melbourne. Good stats there.
He's kicked a goal in the second quarter. Let's see what he can do. Kicking from about 48 metres. It is away to the left and through for behind. 17-15. So 32 effective scoring shots to 13.
That's what the time has come for the Bears to really knuckle down. They must get some respectability on that scoreboard. This champion drives the ball long. But Schenko, trained by that famous Hawthorn horseman Donald Scott, takes a big mark. He finds Peter Mann 55 metres out. He'll line this one up. Looking for Carey in the forward pocket, and a good chest mark to Carey. He'll shoot from goal. Now he finds a short pass. It's Archer once again. He's swamped by Bears players, and Hutton tidies up. Hutton goes to the half-back flank, but in front is Liam Pickering, one of the few remaining cricketer come footballers in AFL. He's district cricket for North Melbourne in the summer. Drives the ball into the centre of the ground. Longmire once again swamped by players. Ellison goes over the top, and Crocker just dribbles the ball over for a goal.
Dark Angel is here. I come in peace. An enemy with limitless power. An enemy without mercy. No one's gonna believe it. His force is unstoppable. His weapons like nothing on Earth. I win. From the makers of Aliens and Schwarzenegger's Predator comes the most awesome action movie of '92. Merry Christmas. Dolph Lundgren.
If you can't help, just stay the hell out of my way.
For the first time on television, the blockbuster Dark Angel. 8:30 Monday on Prime.
9 players have kicked goals for North Melbourne to date. Scholl, after marking well, gets it away to Pickering. Buckley thought about the hand pass over the top. Now goes back. Kicks to half forward. Bain waits down in front, gives it to Hart. Out in front of McCluckey. Over the top to Hutton. He'll be slowed down in that practice wicket area, but he gets clear. 70 metres out. Shackey and Leslie will be the flyers for the Bears. Now, who can recover? Leslie should soccer off the ground, and he does for a goal. Leslie gets his first. And the Bears 9-5, plays 18-15.
He's not usually a forward, of course, Martin Leslie. Has played centre-half back for most of the season. In fact, that's only his second goal for the year. But he was having a lot of problems with Wayne Carey. He was really giving him a run around on that forward line. So he started his final term on that forward line for the Bears.
Yes, well, a bit of a cakewalk now at the MCG. The Bears have just really laid down at the moment. North Melbourne careering away. Ashcroft waits under the ball, gets a left-hand handball to Kennedy, who swings the ball round the corner. And taking a fine mark in defence is Steele. Handball wasn't too good. Finds Dennis. Dennis with plenty of time. Pinpoints the kick to Dwyer, son of the famous North Melbourne great Laurie Dwyer. Hutton with the left hand. Another poor exhibition of handball. Hits Stevens. Stevens easily to Ross Smith. A lot of kicks going round the corner and not finding their target. Campbell dribbles the ball over to the refuge of the boundary line.
Yeah, it's deliberate. It's against Campbell.
A little bit stiff, I thought. Didn't have many options.
Oh, very obvious, though, Jared. Very obvious.
There, I'll give you that. But what else could he do, I ask you, Bernie?
Well, the rule's there. If you do it deliberately, the umpire can't do anything else.
Well, an interesting kick there from Scholl. Finds Jeffrey, who's under attack from North Melbourne. Liam Pickering. Bain picks the ball up. A chip kick finds Leslie. Leslie looks around for an option. Handballs then does the shepherding. Good play. Round the corner goes Bain. And he's got Lawrence Shackey on his own. And Shackey will line up for his second kick of the football this evening.
And that's his first mark for the night. He played okay last week against Essendon. 5 goals. He won plenty of possessions. And he's had a lean night tonight, playing on Richard Dennis early before he was dragged.
So Lawrence Shackey moves in, attempting to kick the Brisbane Bears' 10th goal. And he does.
I like it like that. With bacon and cheese. I like it with that. And pineapple, please. It's all chicken breast. Only the best.
Nobody has a bigger variety of chicken fillet burgers than KFC.
I like it like that.
Who turns on the heat so you can cook more efficiently? Who offers more ways to keep warm, economically? And who'll get you into hot water instantly? Who else but Heatane, the LP gas specialists.
Bounce after that goal from Lawrence Shackey, his first for the night. Ishenko wins it. And does well. To half forward. Out comes Longmire and the champion. Merritt is there also. Merritt still there. Can't pick it up. Paddles it on to champion. Clark. Plays on. Kennedy to the half forward line. Waiting down his shoal. McCarthy couldn't take it. Advantage paid. There was a tackle too high on Dwyer. To centre wing. Campbell got a hand to it. Pushed down in front is Clark. Now David Bain. To the 50-metre line. And some holding on going against North Melbourne. So White a chance. He can go into an open goal here, but he's gone a little too quickly. The mark, however, is taken by Shackey.
Not a well-directed kick, though, Sandy.
No,
he had a
put
chance
him on an
there.
angle.
He's put him on a tight angle, Lawrence Shackey. And again, the skills of the Brisbane Bears letting them down. Very tight angle because there was no player back there. He just had a kick for the goal square, Darryl White.
He's going to go short. And Gerard Healy shakes his head in disgust as Dennis takes it towards Archer. He's going to run out of room there, I fear. He's done okay since coming on, Archer. 5 kicks. Kicked a nice goal. Just over 16.5 minutes remaining.
Yes, well, not a big crowd in attendance. Just under 7,000 people.
Under 6.5.
It's trying to be nice. The ball taken on the ground there by McCarthy. He bursts through a tackle. Weak arms there. Poor kick from McCarthy, however. Well stolen from Stevens, who grabs the ball out of Retzlaff's arms.
He did pretty well there, didn't he?
Yes, it was a good play.
could have beaten him, Retzlaff, but Stevens just knocking the ball out of his hands.
See a bandage round Stevens' left wrist there. He's played a fine game for North Melbourne tonight. He's had plenty of teammates that have produced their best form for many weeks, including this big man in the ruck, Alexei Shenko. Very close to best on the ground. Tap from Ross Smith finds Scholl. Scholl lairising somewhat, gets the kick away. Liam Pickering, he's got Smith in support, but he goes over the top, finds Stevens, who's running his legs off. Stevens finds Archer, who tops one round the ear for his corner, but takes a fine mark under pressure. Archer spears one into the centre of the ground, where Merritt punches the Bears forward. The Bears continue to go forward. It's Kennedy who finds Retzlaff. Retzlaff goes into attack, where Lawrence Shackey takes a good mark 60 metres from their goal. David Bain goes forward, then ducks back, to borrow a phrase from Peter McKenna, and takes a mark 40 metres out from goal.
This distance, I think, still will trouble him, Jared. Kicking from about 50.
When in the end he didn't go back and give it its just desserts. He popped it up in the air. Perhaps that was the play that he was looking for, and Darryl White, with his big spring, takes an easy mark, only 3 metres out from goal. And here's the mark again.
Yeah, it's a bit of bustling in the goal square there. Martin Leslie shepherding really effectively, although disguising it pretty well.
Well, I'll write that one down to David Bain. He did wait and look for an option. He found it in White, and White kicks the 11th goal.
Yeah? You bought a new mobile phone?
Yeah, and I'm not real sure how to work it.
We'll call Telecom MobileNet.
Oh, yeah, 7 p.m. on a Sunday night.
Telecom MobileNet has 24-hour customer service all around Australia.
Come on, who in the world gets 24-hour customer service from a phone company?
We do, Chucky. We do.
Telecom MobileNet, Australia's own.
71 plays 123, so a couple of quick goals, putting some respectability onto the board for the Brisbane Bears. Let's see what happens this time as Stevens' kick is partly smothered. Crocker got a hand to it, but there's going to be a Bears free kick.
There goes that runner again, Sandy, for the Brisbane Bears. He needs to be a communications expert because he's been on the phone that often tonight.
Yes, it's been a long night. Green from centre wing. High kick to half forward. There's Shenko in from the side, and the man's played very well. His hand pass on that occasion was almost a little too swift.
Yes, he wants to
for his teammate in Pickering.
Hang on to the ball a bit there in circumstances such as that. Big Alex. He's played a fine game. 33 hit-outs to North Melbourne. 13 hit-outs to the Brisbane Bears.
And the Bears making a change. Noonan coming on and Jeffrey off the ground for Brisbane. Pickering. Scholl. Just palms it forward. Now it's with Steele. A high kick over centre wing. Crocker does well. They're opening up the spaces for him now. Running into the gap is Stevens. Picks it up beautifully with the one hand. Brings it round his body with the left foot. And McCluckey sees it over the line in North Melbourne's left forward pocket. Just under 13 minutes remaining in this final quarter. North in control.
Roger Merritt obviously needing a run because, of course, he's missed 6 weeks through injury. He last played in round 7, Roger Merritt. Had quite a severe leg injury, knee and ankle injury problems.
Mann couldn't quite control it, neither could Clark, but he's down the bottom of the pack again, fighting with his 4 stitches. So the sting has certainly gone from the game after that marvellous burst by North in the 3rd quarter, where they sealed it.
It's really disappointing. The Brisbane Bears, they quite often promise a lot, as they did last week.
Yeah.
And yet tonight it's back to the old Brisbane Bears. There's so many mistakes. They win the ball well. It must be disappointing for Robert Walls watching the players turn it over so regularly.
Well, they're playing in a non-football state, and of course they have their own problems, and I think they should be given some support by the Commission.
What sort of help would you recommend, Gerard?
Well, they certainly need financial help. They need players. Perhaps some concessions in the draft, although that would certainly be going against what appears to be the attitude of the Commission. But perhaps they could see fit in allowing any ex-Queenslander who comes out of contract to be able to be drafted, similar to the concessions the Crows have got. One of their problems, of course, they've got 35 players unemployed. As Stevens drives the ball long into Longmire. Longmire hasn't kicked a goal at that end. McRae, good handball, good vision. Goes to Allison, who takes on Champion. Has the presence of mind to get it to McRae, who goes around the corner and kicks his third.
Instead of using different sealants for different surfaces, Sally's All Clear does the lot. Even if they're wet. So all you need is All Clear. From the Sally's Handyman Bar.
North have kicked 3 goals for this quarter. So too has Brisbane. Crocker's away. To half forward, up towards Allison, couldn't take the mark. Campbell waits down in front, gets the hand pass away to McCluckey. Over the top he goes. Now Hart. Gastev down to centre wing. To the half forward line. Shackey the target. Got a hand to it. Couldn't complete the mark. Bain runs into trouble. Gets the hand pass to Noonan in time. It's high to half forward. North have the numbers. Backing into the pack was Dennis. Hutton went through strongly. Leslie paddles it on for White. He's in trouble, but does well to Shackey, who will snap a left foot goal. Lawrence Shackey gets his second.
There's 2 goals to Super Shackey. Sugar Shack. Lawrence Shackey kicking 2 goals in this last term. I said that 3 Brisbane Bears defenders up earlier in the quarter. There we saw 3 North Melbourne defenders all flying. And Darryl White, he's got a lot of moves, hasn't he, Gerard? He moved very well there to get that hand pass out.
So I like the look of Darryl White. Will be a big player. I think Shackey could improve as time goes on, although he has been disappointing tonight, as Alexei Shenko comes in and takes on the inexperienced Kennedy. Shenko with a big tap. Down the ground goes Clark, who's had a bad night, copping a nasty knock to the forehead.
Almost been awarded a free kick there for that tackle, North Melbourne. 37 hit-outs to 16. And Shenko doing a fine job in the ruck. In fact, he's averaged 17.5 hit-outs for the season, second only to Scott Wine of Footscray.
He's actually a resident at Matthew Rendell's house here in Melbourne.
In fact, he's a housemate of the Brisbane Bears runner.
Well,
there's a little bit of trivia for you.
Well, they'll both sleep well.
And here's another bit, because John Longmire can line up for his first goal at the Jollymont end of the ground. He's kicked 3 goals in the first quarter, 4 in the third quarter, and this will be his first. The Richmond end, he goes bang with the right foot, the ball swinging back, and it has hit the woodwork. So not a very good end for John Longmire, with just on 9 minutes of play left.
In fact, you're talking about those housemates, Shenko and the Brisbane Bears runner, Brendan Risley. I'm not too sure which one will sleep the best tonight. They'll both be exhausted.
Yes, it's been a long night for both. Back into play, and the mark taken by Ross Smith. North down towards Mann. The goal in the third quarter, Peter Mann. This will certainly test him. Good-looking kick, though, into the square. Longmire and Champion, and it is the latter who is quite content to concede a behind. (19-17). 12-5. Champion again. Oh, it's going to be dangerous. Smith again. Pulls the kick slightly. Archer. McRae loses it. Clark runs into trouble. Gets the handball over the top to Hart. A little chip for Hutton on centre wing. Gets his kick. And it's Matthew Kennedy. Still yet not down at centre half forward, but he takes the mark. He goes straight across the ground to Noonan, who is a little more direct on this occasion. Shackey takes the mark in front of a disappointed Dennis.
Well, it has been a better turn by Shackey. Richard Dennis should be disappointed because he had the chance to keep his opponent goalless for the evening. Shackey just using the body propping and keeping Dennis out of the contest.
From directly in front, 25 metres out, Shackey makes no mistake. So that's his third goal. They've all come in this final quarter. 13-5, plays 19-17.
It's a 5-goal turn by the Brisbane Bears. And that goal making Lawrence Shackey the leading scorer for the Brisbane Bears for the night. There he is, just holding Richard Dennis out of the contest. Again, we see it from another angle. Lawrence Shackey, a big boy, can take a strong mark at times, but he doesn't do it regularly enough.
Well, that goal, of course, was set up by good work from Matthew Kennedy. There he is on screen. I've been impressed with his game. He hasn't dominated, but he has shown glimpses of good form. Archer with a quick kick out of the centre. Ashcroft, who has died out of it in the last half, goes to Clark. Clark's been a tireless worker whilst he's been on the ground. Hutton at the back, goes with the left foot. Hasn't got a very good left foot, but this time he finds White, who drops what he should have taken. White paddles the ball forward. And North Melbourne have got 3 against 1. Dean McRae picks the ball up. An easy floating handball. Ball now with Scholl, who has been a good worker for North Melbourne tonight. He goes to Carey. And Johnny Gastev tries to keep the ball in play. Perhaps he should have disguised it with a dribble over the boundary line.
He had a big chance there, didn't he, Darryl White, at centre half forward to take that chest mark.
I think his legs just went out of him at the crucial time. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt, Bernie.
Okay.
Oshenko once again. McLucky. Through comes Stevens with the one hand. Doesn't have his body behind it and loses possession of the ball. Stays in play with Hart. Swinging a left-hand hand. That's a throw from Leslie. Threw that one out with the right hand. Umpire doesn't pay it, however. Ben Buckley, left foot, straight up in the air. Underneath it is Clark, the midget. And he is trampled over by Big Oshenko. Dwyer with the ball now. Good shepherd. Clark once again. Handball to nobody. Leslie goes to ground. And one makes you wonder whether they're wearing long stops as Ellison whips the left-hand handball to the running Stevens, one of North Melbourne's best players today. And he spears the kick to Longmire, who just ducked his head at the crucial time. With Ross Smith now coming into the open goal. Has plenty of time with good shepherding from Longmire. And Ross Smith says, thanks, John, I'll have a goal. Ross Smith back for North Melbourne this afternoon. He kicks his first, and North Melbourne go on to 20 goals, 17, 137, well in control of Brisbane.
Yes, Ross Smith recruited from the same club as Scotty Wine, the Footscray ruckman from Jacana. He was dropped after round 10. He's been a good player for North Melbourne tonight, playing his 143rd VFL-AFL game. And we see that in replay. He had no pressure whatsoever coming through centre half forward to kick that goal.
137 plays 83. Oshenko again wants Steele going past. Cop one in the back, but play allowed to go on. Down to Hutton. Kick coming from Hart. Now, distance shouldn't be a problem for Hutton from here. He can kick a long ball, and he's going to be kicking from just outside 50. This for the Bears' 6th goal for the quarter, but he's gone for distance, and in doing so has pulled it. A big pack of players. Is it a mark?
Yes. Oh. Yeah, no doubt a mark, Sandy.
Darryl White. That one again.
Oh, that was clearly a mark.
Plays on. And the snap by Champion is good. So Richard Champion, who started the night at fullback, gets his first goal, and the Bears 14. 14-5, plays 20-17.
Let's have a look at this again, Jared. We can watch it closely. Darryl White over the back of the pack. We know how he can leap. Or do you think there could have been a few hands in there? Oh, worthwhile.
Hands involved,
Worthwhile paying that one. It was a pretty good effort. Been a good quarter by the Brisbane Bears. In fact, they've kicked 7 goals for the term. Six goals, sorry, Sandy.
Richard Champion having a run in the centre, but he too is beaten badly by Oshenko. Stevens once again with the ball. McCluckey. Roger Merritt, who's playing in defence after really having a fairly ordinary comeback at centre-half forward. Has spent many weeks out through injury. Ball now with Hutton, who rose Shackey and has been dragged off the pack, and will receive the free kick from the umpire. Perhaps a little bit generous, Bernie.
Yes, they're again throwing his hands up in the air. Very good ploy by any player these days. And that's what the umpire tends to notice. Shackey couldn't take that mark. Spoiled there by Richard Dennis. And then held on to, well, Ian Fairley just brushing against John Hutton.
Well, John Hutton, number 1 draft pick, 1991, comes into goal, and I think he's pulled it left again. That he has. So his last 2 attempts at goal have both been pulled to the left. Something he should have possibly worked on a little bit at training.
Yes, he's yet to kick a goal tonight, Jared. He's, of course, the leading goal kicker for the Brisbane Bears. His accuracy's been pretty good. He's kicked 28 goals, 10. So accuracy hasn't been a problem for him throughout 1992.
Dennis kicks to himself. Then he gets another chance. Looks towards Smith, and Archer comes over the back. Plays on straight away. He's been impressive since coming off the bench. To the half-forward line. Carey the flyer could have almost been held over the shoulder. Bears have the numbers. Clark gets it out. And an opportunity for Retzlaff. A cry of dismay from Bernie as Bain is bumped off the ball, but he does get it away.
They really all stopped and looked at each other.
It's clean bowled everyone. But it finishes with Darryl White from the Rovers in the Northern Territory. White going for his 3rd goal. And the Bears certainly outscoring North in this final term. Good looking kick too. It's going to make the distance. That's a goal. So White gets his 3rd. And the Bears putting some respectability on the board as they approach the 100. And they've certainly closed the gap. It's down now the margin to 41 points.
Yes, I don't think Wayne Schimmelbusch would be all that happy about the way North Melbourne's finished off this match. They've stopped to a walk in this last quarter and really allow the Brisbane Bears to gain some respectability on the scoreboard. 7 goals now for the quarter to the Brisbane Bears.
Well, he's 110 kilos, he's 200 centimetres, and he's Alex Oshenko. Best man on the ground, wins the tap again, but well rove Bain. Bain gets the ball to Hamilton, who goes down the centre looking for Shackey at the back. Shackey is spoiled by Dennis, and Pickering will go over the boundary line for a point. No, he won't. He'll bring it back to Steele. Not enough pressure there from the Bears forwards. Dwyer. Through comes Gastev. Gastev with a looping left handball to White. White fumbles, but has enough time to look to the centre, and he finds Shane Hamilton. Takes it on the second grab. Now, Shane Hamilton is beyond his distance, one would think, and will look to set up an opportunity for one of the leading Bears. We have Darren Steele cleverly positioned in the hole, blocking off any potential lead. So Hamilton goes back. It's up to him to shoot for goal. It's a good-looking kick off the boot. In fact, it's a good goal from Shane Hamilton. An excellent kick from the 50-metre mark, and Brisbane move ahead. They're 16-6-102, having a fine last quarter. They trail North Melbourne 2017.
Yes, Hamilton has been a pretty reasonable player tonight. Hamilton hasn't done a great deal, but in and out of the match. Former Geelong player, he did play 27 games at Geelong. And the Brisbane Bears transferred their first draft pick in the 90 national draft for Shane Hamilton.
The margin is down to 35 points. Ishenko plucks it out of the air, wants someone going past. Finds them in McRae, but his kick falls short. It's taken by Merritt. Away he goes to Ashcroft. Marcus Ashcroft's kick, his 13th for the night, goes to centre wing. Now Noonan. The Bears finishing full of running, but it's all too late. Shackey used the body nicely to get front spot, but the Roos will take it away. Mann gives the hand pass out to Steele, who just chips in towards Stevens, who's almost into the centre. He goes somewhat indirectly towards Archer, who goes towards centre wing, and it chases the boundary umpire over the line. Merritt comes across to do the ruck work, but look at Ashenko, still going strong. Plucked it out of the air, but it went straight to Clark onto Hamilton. High kick to half forward. Is that a mark to Fairley? No, said the umpire. Comes to Steele. Stevens. Got one while going for that, and we'll take the free kick.
Bit of courage shown there too, Sandy, by Stevens.
Been one of North Melbourne's best players tonight.
Had a great third quarter, and there's the siren as Carey marks to end the evening. Victory to North Melbourne by 35 points. The final scoreline showing North 20 goals, 17, 137. Brisbane 16-6, 102. But the Brisbane Bears booted 8 goals in the final quarter after North kicked 9 in the third. Richard Champion on screen there was one of their goal kickers in the final quarter. He was moved from one end of the ground to the other. Finished with one. Ben Buckley, North's vice-captain, Campbell and Green. Disappointment for the Bears, who must now travel back to Carrara and reassess their position. As we go down to the boundary line, here's Tim Watson with, I guess, a very relieved Wayne Schimmelbusch.
Well, Shimmer, does that put a smile on your face?
Oh, it's been a long time between drinks, Tim, as you know, and any win at this time is probably good for the club. But I mean, we've got a long way to go. Obviously, we had a very good lead there at one stage, and we perhaps relaxed in the end, and which is a disappointing thing about it after being starved for wins, not to really go on with the job.
I know it's very soon after the game, but if you were to look at the positives to come out of that game for you.
Oh, we had some improvement in a few players. I think Ross Smith showed that he came back to a bit of form once he got on the night, and the other good player tonight, I thought, for us, showed that he can be a player. He's had a lot of injury troubles in the last couple of years. As Peter Mann, I thought, did pretty good job for us.
Paul Spargo seemed to go off again with a leg injury. Is this something that he just can't seem to shake?
Oh, well, he's had he's been pretty injury-free this year, but he had a calf injury a couple of weeks ago, and we knew it was sort of a bit of a risk tonight, and it was just starting to get a bit tight, so I think he'll probably be right next week. We had a fair lead, so it wasn't really worth risking the rest of the game.
Okay, thanks for speaking to us. Good luck next week.
Thanks, mate. Right, thank you, Tim. 35-point victors. Then North Melbourne, 2017 to 16-6. We'll take a break and return shortly to the MCG.